Hey, welcome. I'm Billy Morgan. This is my buddy over here, Matt Parker.
Yep.
We are TPKhaos, and we are starting a new thing where we go over just about everything D&D related.
Kind of just throw some different flavor in there. We've been doing our regular campaigns. We've done some one-shots here and there. We want to try just like a different style of content. So we're just going to pick up some... It's about the randomest things you can think of, and we're going to give our own 2 cents on them, as much as that's worth.
Yeah. So for our first one, what we're going to do is player creation, PC creating, making your PC. So you have your different things with that. You got class, race, different equipments, stuff like feats. Mm-hmm. Different styles like that.
So what do you, when I say we're going to do a new campaign, roll up a new character, what is the first thing you think of?
What kind of campaign am I going to be playing in?
The one coming up is a very brutal one.
So if it's brutal, then I want overpowered. If I can get a power game, he knows what I'm going to say. He knows what's coming. What is the one race that you pick when you're power gaming?
You go straight for the fairy? No, you go for a human,
Variant human. You get a free feat at level 1, which is completely overpowered.
You can't beat it. There is no other race, unless it's like, some homebrew monstrosity that beats having a feat at level 1. You can do anything. You want double your health to start with? Fine. You want to do double your damage to start with? No problem. You want to dance around the battlefield? Sure, why not?
Right? You want to warp around the battlefield? You can get Misty Step at level 1. You can get Shield. It's just a bonus on the side of whatever, class you take. You could be a fighter that can cast Shield,
I really want to know what was
invisibility.
There had to be a reason why they did that. They must have made the human and then man, compared to everybody else, he just sucks. Let's give him the best thing ever.
I have an answer for that, actually. They've explained before in the Dungeons and Dragons world that humans are supposed to be overpowered. They are a malicious, violent, short-lived race. There's a saying where you have an elven wizard that's been studying a theater of magic for centuries. And then all of a sudden this human comes up and figures it out in 4 years. Mm-hmm. Well, how did you do that? He said, well, I didn't have 200 years to figure it out, so I did it in 4.
And that really goes into the backbone of most fantasies. If you have forever to do something, you're going to take forever to do it. If you have a time limit, I need this done in 5 years. You're going to find a way or you're going to fail.
Human.
Yeah.
But yeah, for real. In our new campaign, I did pick the fairy class that's brand new. I like it because it does have some unique characteristics such as flight. Gotta love flight. I think the Arakakra is the only other class that has flight. Or do they have the Alkin now as well?
But Alkin doesn't have flight, though.
Oh, it doesn't?
I think it might have glide. Oh. There's some weird ones out there that have glide. Some have flight, but yeah. Here's the funny thing, though. What size is the fairy?
The fairy is small. But the fairy does come with a couple other benefits, too. At level 1, they get, Druid Craft. Mm-hmm. So you have that as a free bonus. At level 3, you get Fairy Fire. So you can give yourself advantage on the battlefield with that. I find that extremely useful. And at level 5, you get Reduce Enlarge. So it is kind of like taking a feat like a human. I see. It just depends on what kind of flavor you're looking for. Like the flight and the enlarge reduce is really what's doing it for me. I love that. And I'm mixing it with a Rune Fighter. So with the Rune Fighter, you can take the dragon enlarge. You can bump yourself up to a large size character. And coming from small, jumping all the way up to large, and then cast enlarge on yourself, you become what's the next step after large?
Gigantic?
Gigantic creature. And then way further levels, I think 12
do
or
it
something like
again
that. Yeah, you
for
can actually go
Colossus.
from straight up to giant, and then you can enlarge yourself to be a Colossus creature. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to be this little bitty tiny fairy. He's going to have, short man syndrome, and constantly be looking for ways to bump his stature up.
But you did bring up something there. You said you went Rune Fighter. So that's not in the original player's handbook. That's in one of the guides. So whenever I'm making anything, usually because I'm a power gamer, I take pride in that, like all the rest of you do out there. I almost never use the player's handbook because you have Tasha's or Xanathar's or some other homebrew ones that are just better.
Well, I don't think anything beats, what is that base class fighter where you get the maneuvers?
Oh, so you're talking about Champion.
Is it the Champion?
Or no, Champion's the one you get the crit on 19 or 20.
Yeah.
You're talking about, there is no one. I know what it is.
I'll look it up. I don't care.
But you
pause for this commercial break.
But you are right, though. There are some in the player's handbook that are great. Like, for example, in the very first campaign that we did as a group, I did a Totem Warrior Barbarian.
Oh, he
Totem
was badass. Warrior, that guy was way overpowered.
Half damage on everything, and it wasn't until the very end of the campaign that Billy finally started using psychic damage, which is the only thing I wasn't immune to, basically.
Yeah, Battle Master is what I was talking about.
Master,
it's hard to beat Battle Master. They have so much control over the battlefield. You get a superiority die, so you can add that to your attacks, and also like disarm enemies, trip them. Parry attacks with that, like many options that other classes are looking to get that just come with the class to begin with, and it's hard to beat that.
So you have, we've talked about race, well, a little bit. Human's the best, right? Because besides a human, what else would you choose? I would probably choose Orc, just for a strength.
Yeah, if you're playing a fighter-based character like barbarian or a fighter. If you're like an archer-based, it's kind of hard to beat an elf because they have elven accuracy, which is really good for that kind. And then you also get stuff like, dark vision, which can really impede humans because they don't get that.
Which is something we've seen a little bit about in the current campaign because we have two people that have dark vision, but the other two don't. So usually it's one of them running hella far up there, and then you have me back here with the torch. I'm just holding it for everybody else, and you have the freaking other one just running around. Oh, I can see just fine. Don't worry about it.
And depending on how your DM's running the game, sometimes if you have that torch and you're using a two-handed weapon or you're a board and sword kind of player, you don't get that option. What are you? You just gotta throw your torch on the ground. Is that using action? Is that a free action? What is that?
Drop it.
Yeah.
But then you have to pull out your shield. So that probably is a full action.
Because if you use your free action to drop the shield, is it a free action to pull out your shield? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't talk.
But what is the worst race that no one should choose? Let's go ahead and start with that.
Oh, geez. The worst one. Dwarves. I don't care for them. I never play a dwarf.
Oh, I was going to say Goliath.
Really? Even for like a barbarian?
But you have an orc.
Yeah.
Because the only thing a Goliath has over an orc is they are immune to disease from the beginning. But...
So it might be like campaign specific that they might benefit from.
Clerics, they get immunity. Paladins, they get immunity eventually. It's you have other things. If you need immunity, you can still go into like an orc paladin, get the strength, get the other bonuses that come with the orc, like the extras to charisma and the intimidation, and then take paladin for that immunity. Other than that, what does the Goliath have? Size. That's not a great thing.
Sure. I've never actually played a Goliath, so I can't say I've actually read into them as deeply as I probably should have, but they've never appealed to me. Like if I was going to play a fighter or a barbarian, I'm probably going very human.
Yeah. And that is one problem we both have.
Yeah, like I've got a list of characters a mile long that I've created. And half of them are human.
Very human.
But I do like playing humans. I
mean, we are humans, yeah. It's just, when you say make a character, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be variant human because I want the feet. I want the myriad of other crap that comes with it, including the +1 to 2 different stats, just immediately, just bam. And
which is typically what other classes, well, they get what, +2 and +1.
Yeah.
So you're missing a +1 out of there.
But I can get that anywhere. Yeah. I can get a ring with that shit in it.
Even if you're using a point buy system, you're still going to get what you want.
Yeah.
For your, strengths and all that.
Now, you had an interesting idea when we were rolling up the characters. You rolled 4 D20s.
Oh, yeah. I was trying that because there's different ways of rolling up characters. You got the 4D6, drop 1, or got 3D6 and take what you get. Now, I saw this weird thing online. It was like roll a D20.
And then,
so you could start out with a 20 on an ability score, but I think I got a 1.
And that sparked a debate with us, like, can someone with a 1 in any skill actually function? And the answer we got, no, yeah.
Yeah, because even if you put it on something like charisma, then you don't have the ability to interact with somebody. You can't have intelligence of 1 because then you can't function. You can't have wisdom of 1 because
it's just rolling around on the ground.
You just have your, I don't know. You can't have dexterity because then you can't move. You can't have strength because you can't lift your own body up.
You're just slowly dying of a disease or something. Strength, you can't
stage 4 cancer.
Strength, you can't even raise up yourself, let alone carry armor and a pack and everything.
So, what would be like a minimum? 3? No, because 3 is possible with the 4D6 drop 1. What if you rolled 4 1s, which I've done pretty close. I think I've gotten the lowest I got was 3 1s and a 2. Drop the 1 and you're left with a point of 4.
The odds of you rolling 4 1s is bad enough to where if it happens, you need to take it. No, that is a -6 on your modifier. No, it's -8. -4.
-4.
Yeah. You will never get that, whatever that is. You could roll an 18, boom, down to a 14. Anything less than a 10, just don't worry about it.
Can you imagine starting out? I guess I'll put that in intelligence. Hey, you guys.
Hey, wisdom's the dumb stat.
You couldn't even talk with an intelligence of 3. That's like base animal intelligence.
The gelatinous cube that followed Monchi around in our original campaign had an intelligence of 3.
Yes, and that's because we gave him a ring of intellect inside of him to boost his intelligence up.
So he couldn't speak. He couldn't really move. He was basically just there to be a trophy. And that is what an intelligence of 3 does for you.
Yeah. All right.
But that's just some of our little tidbits and things, what we think about when we're making characters and everything.
Yeah, we just thought we'd get on here and have a little discussion with you guys. Go down in the comments and
tell us how bad we are.
Yeah, put in some of your thoughts and discussions on it. We didn't really write in specifics, but more kind of like a hangout, talk about what we think about character creation, stuff like that. Tell us what some of your favorite guys are. There's one thing I wanted to mention, too. One of my favorite types of builds are dice manipulating builds.
Oh.
And halflings are fantastic because they have the luck of the small. And then if you take the lucky feet on top of that, and you make them like a level 2 divination wizard, and they're like, oh my God, I love it. It's like nothing the DM can do can stop you.
As a
it just
DM,
doesn't matter. He crits. Oh no, that's not a crit. That was a 3 or a 1.
My heart's seizing in my chest right now. It's just like, shit.
It's kind of like abducting the game. You cannot win against me because I already have the dice predetermined here. Mm-hmm. So go screw yourself, DM, and I win.
Yep. But the fun comes when those dice run out, and the DM takes his vengeance.
Yeah. We had that guy, what was his name? Chandler or Lander Chasfell.
He did so well until he didn't.
Oh man!
And he got one shot.
Yes, he took on that giant orc.
The orc chief.
No,
Yep.
a literal orc chief at level. What was he? Level 4. And he whooped his ass and kept whooping his ass, and then it ran out.
Yep.
And then that war chief
one shot in
him.
the ground.
Yeah, he was done. But it was fun up until it ended.
Up until that point, yeah. Which I take some personal fault for that because Vols decided to prank him right before that, and I took away one of his lucky dice. And if he would have had one more, he actually probably would have won.
May have survived, maybe. But
what can you do? Obviously, we don't rehearse crap beforehand, right? So
no, we don't. So, all right, guys. I guess we're gonna wrap it up there for a little PC design and stuff, and we'll make a few more videos coming out, different things about DMing, some of our different styles of play, stuff like that. So stick around, leave some comments. We love you guys.
Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Bye.